Morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, Rogue. What? Staring at like that. Hmm? What's up, everybody? All right, we're on YouTube as well.
Otter, I sent my email for that stocks off the company. You can talk with some of the others.
Okay, dope. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'll be in touch. What do I think about NVIDIA 212 calls today? I mean, if it clears the highs, man, I mean, 212.50 calls. I don't know. Some typically when I catch something like this, man, I'm done with it. Especially when it's at all time highs. I don't even try. Although I mean, all other semiconductors have rocketed to the highs, so I mean, I don't see any issue with if that's what you want to do. You know, it's not a terrible setup at all. So, obviously, following in suit with the other stocks or semiconductor stocks. But good morning, Biddy. All right. All right. And it's done. Echo. There should not be an echo. It's not possible. There's music playing. That might be the echo that you're hearing. All right. Well, thanks. See legit. See legit. Do you like Liquid Death Mountain water? Yeah, I've been a Liquid Death fan for a while. As I spill some of it on my chest. We will talk about move up in history. Not even. What are you talking about? All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ETFs. If you are on TikTok or YouTube, I'll be here live for the bell or for pre-market, and then I'm gonna hop off. I've got a busy day ahead of me, but I want to focus inside of the Discord today. Qs are opening up at the highs with a small lower time frame pullback. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, I would even call it a pull. I mean, you're just kind of sitting here. So again, this is not where I trade. It's not where my strategy thrives. So if anything, I'm looking at a 660 retest there, if anything. So again, I have no QQQ plan for today. You know, the only thing I've been using this for is to hedge. That being said, SPY is opening up slightly above that range still. We talked about this last night being above the box. So for now, you're still bullish. Obviously, we talked about it sinking underneath 711.80. That is where you could contemplate a potential reversal move back down to 702. That's the only thing I have lined up on SPY, which is not lined up right now. So that means I'm not taking it until that trigger obviously fires. Um, Oh, Mountain Don't. No, I haven't checked that one out yet. That sounds funny. But yes, but Spies again, and this is just easy for me. I mean, at this point, all the years of suffering and shit like that, trading where I shouldn't be, I know what Spy is, and it's not for me. Now, IWM is for me, as it has not broken out of its range. It's the only ETF that I like today I don't know why I just drew two boxes over one, but it's the only box that or trade that I like today, and you could probably guess as to why, because it is the only ETF that hasn't made new highs and has remained inside of its box. So it is obviously sitting up at the highs with retests underneath it, probably aiming a little bit closer to a potential breakout here this morning. But the beautiful thing about it is you have walls on both sides of this trade that should help you nail directionally which way you're planning on taking it. Now, I think right now there's still that overhead play. It still has technically empty space on the lower time frame, all the way up into that 279. So I'll be watching for that one, but I'll probably be looking for price to blow past that high if we do get a break. Yeah, the yearly and workshop with 6 months are 30% off right now. So anyway, that is the only ETF that I am really focused on today. Cheap, risk, low risk, obviously with the potential to go into new highs like 280 and 280 plus. Um, Now, in terms of watch list, and I wasn't, super enthused, I suppose, with I mean, there's some decent things here on the watch list. One of those, and of course, I've been, looking at Baba. Baba did gap down on me this morning, but I am still watching it because technically nothing has been lost. 130, 150 is still that floor that we're holding at the moment. So I'll be watching this one again this week. Doesn't mean I'm watching it necessarily today, but obviously if price doesn't move anywhere. Baidu is also on my watch list. That one actually held its highs and could just give us a retest. Anything under 127.92, and I am not trading it whatsoever. Celsius is also on the watch list for this week. However, it is not triggered yet. Still waiting for that 35.25 break to give us confirmation. And of course, to hold that 33.46 if you are, yeah, of course. But if you are looking long and looking for that stop loss, there also is a big chunk of earnings coming in this week that definitely are going to be a focus. With UPS, Coca-Cola, Robinhood, SoFi, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, Ford, QCOM, Chipotle, you name it. They're fucking pretty much got earnings this week, so this is going to be a pretty exciting week. But obviously, a lot of it is in after hours. Um, yeah, exactly. What's up? She has a doctor's appointment tomorrow at 8:45. All right. Well, you guys heard it first. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. 8:45. Yeah, I gotta be there. All right.
You're fired.
I'll take it. Now, other than that, yeah, Netflix really hasn't changed this morning. I didn't really see, again, anything major last night that was immediately pressing. So I think I might focus on IWM probably the most today. I think Snow had a decent bounce, so that one's still a candidate for a reversal, but I got alert set on that one. Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys have anything you would like for me to look at, go ahead and drop your request right now. Do I see Sony hitting 23? Uh, Not, I mean, maybe. You're sitting right here on top of this box on cost basis, so this is a good place to bounce. Um, However, it is also the trigger to the downside. So I would like to see obviously price outside of $20 and or above 2040, and then for sure, yeah, you could be looking up above that. Yeah. Make sure you drop your charts, guys. Do I see oil coming down? Not really. I kind of feel like we're gonna wake up and it's gonna be at like 150, but Do you think Spotify will have good earnings? Does Spotify usually have good earnings? Or a good response, I guess, is rather the key. That was a decent earnings, but that had empty space up above it. This one does at 575, but I'm not seeing. Okay, so you got a pretty fat drop here. So it seems like it's hit or miss whether or not it moves. And then, again, I base what I'm going to be doing off of what the setup is. I mean, it's not my favorite setup in the world. Maybe 583 would be a target, or 556, but eh, nah. Verizon. This could be bearish, with a rejection off of the floor here at four. It just had earnings. Okay, so you have a punchback at 49.70, and you have this being a retest. And if it breaks down underneath 45.85 or 45.40, I mean, you got a pretty chunky retest play down actually to 43.50. So, okay, let's see this chart here. Dogs, they're docs. Okay, so you're not wrong, and you're marking out of the range that you are in. I have that very same range, but one thing that we shouldn't forget, right, is that when you see areas of consolidation inside of that range, right, that's also important. So I would say that this floor that you have right here to your left, right at 24.30, that's important. 25.68, that's important. That needs to break. And then ultimately, yeah, over 27 and 28, you could be looking at a potential uptrend there. I don't really see the trend yet, but how can you join my Discord? The yearly and workshop is discounted 30%, but you can go to my website at potterstockstrading.com. Right. What do we got here? QBTS. Your box is correct there to the upside. I can't see what's coming in from the left, but your chart looks good from there. Okay. All right. So, I mean, this is simple enough, right? And it just goes down to, like, obviously measuring out where you came from. These floors will be important. So, like 1750, I would keep my eye peeled. Yeah, I won't be on TikTok for the bell or YouTube. So if you guys want to check it out, you can come check it out in the Discord. But 1750 would be the target to the downside on QBTS, and then at least from here. And at that point, I would be exploring the how that responds to that floor, because ultimately, you do have more downside here. But to the upside as a trigger, yes, this box would be perfect. So not a bad setup, just obviously needs some shit to work. Okay, so yeah, so we were looking at this one last night, right? What do you have this on the hourly? Okay, so obviously, the box that you have drawn out, right, would be more applicable to the 24-hour. When we zoom in, Stace, we're going to zoom in and sometimes start over, right? So when I look here, I can see that inside of this range, where yes, you do have multiple taps, it is one range, but in order to navigate that range, right, what we would do is we would actually focus on what's underneath right here, right? Maybe what's underneath that, which this box and this box would be relevant now, right? In the same way that this overhead resistance is the only relevant overhead resistance that we have at the moment, this would be your underneath. So 82.62 could be a retest, right? Where we look for price to bounce and then punch up into that empty space. So, but I mean, I did, I think on the 24 hour, I do like, the range that it has right now. So, do I trade crypto? I don't trade, I buy, anything. But 1 second, guys. I gotta 1 second. Sorry about that. Oh my God. All right. Anyway, let's see what else we got. Rocket Lab down, continuation. I mean, a little bit, yeah. I think, I mean, you're very, 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 very close to touchdown. It will be underneath 78.65, and it would be down to 74.78 if you're looking for continuation there. EOSE Junior, yeah. So this one, obviously, I think it was this 118.13 that I wanted to get to. As far as this morning is concerned, you are above. This is one of those scenarios where the chart is calling you to watch. Obviously, we want to bounce if we pull back, which, right now we're seeing a little bit of sell. Right now we're selling off a little bit on the Qs, actually. Q's 30-minute looks interesting. But anyway, 750, right, would be that potential bounce area, and that's where you would want to see price on EOSE bounce, since you still have something yet to recover. AO, I told you guys I'm pretty much I'm done with it, the AO trade. Especially to the upside. One of the big things here was this overhead level at 19, and that right there just, it's kept us down before, so it's kept us, So I'd like to see price, somewhere in this area around 1750 bounce, and it does have empty space back up. So I mean, I won't take that away from you. But I personally don't see that happening until you get above 1865. I personally think that maybe the ETFs might be moving a little bit cleaner here this next couple of days. I mean, it's just a thought at the moment. I'm not seeing anything on the equity side of things at the moment, at the very moment, and I haven't looked at through the scanner yet. Gap gainers. So I'll do this, I'll look for like individual equities. What do we got? Like INTC. Okay, that gapped and fell. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is probably going to rip to 14. Um, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. Fuck off. God damn it. That was exactly my target on QCOM.
I was gonna mention that one, but I didn't want to bring it up, bro, because I know you wanted to take it.
That is what it is, man. No shit. Look at ARM.
Dude, the thing's on crack.
I mean, I literally gave a 228 target away off of this break, and yeah, no shit. The fucking thing didn't stop till it got there. You said Poet? Everybody's watching Poet, dude. Maybe I just don't see it. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
fuck. That shit's fucking dumping right now. Holy shit. Absolute free fall right now. That shit's dead. Poet just died. Look at that. All the way the fuck back down to $8. Oh.
Shit, that same thing happened to Car, dude. It's almost ate up all that empty space back up.
Yeah.
Down.
Microsoft is dumping. What happened to them?
Arda, can you take a look at ACM?
Yeah, what are you looking at on this one?
Downside.
Okay. You see that chart, my boy? We're gonna see ACOM down. Jesus Christ, this thing has fallen from 130 all the way to $80. Weekly time frame. You're at an old cost basis this morning, with a box directly up above you. So, downside, things like this, if you look at this big sharp leg down, it's immediately popped back up. You feel the empty space, then you kind of shift back down, build this box, take a sharp leg down, kind of similar in there. So I would say right now, since you're at cost basis, to be looking at a bounce to retest 83 and 85.31. That might be the best place to actually look for a reversal on that. So. Hey Potter, you were right about Trump using stocks being at all-time highs to answer his questions. Yeah, that was a pretty in tune. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think my charting is going to help something like this. I mean, the fact that you're at the near the floor is, I guess, good. But you do have an overhead resistance that would just have to be broken first, that you've had to break over and over again, which is 85 cents. A sell off today? Maybe. I mean, I talked about a sell off happening last week. Like as profit taking occurred, it's kind of similar to how the other ETF or anything, right? You get up to the top, you chop for a second, then you pull back. I mean, I suspect that with the Qs, if you look at the Qs, that's obviously par for the course. But Flutter looks like a decent play over 115. You've got a nice box in this whole range here. Economy's gonna ruin this summer. Probably gonna end up seeing more fucking kids working. All right. I'm not familiar with this one either, but I also, things that fall this much that aren't held within the S&P or anything like that. Sometimes there's good reason for them to fall that fucking hard. It's done the same thing over here, but obviously not from the $300 highs. So, I mean, you're down $200 here. So, I mean, interesting, but also I would be curious to see what's fueling this thing. And that's an old box, but yeah, that's a new range that you're trying to go and break back over. That's Sunrun. Yeah, I think I had this one on the watch list. I have what is that, 1370 as a trigger on that, but yeah, we got to get above 1328. So Microsoft's OpenAI license now is non-exclusive. That's interesting. Okay, 1 second. I see that. Yeah, Microsoft's OpenAI license will now be non-exclusive. Only 4 vessels got out of the strait yesterday. So in the Discord, you guys live trade, and I can copy and paste. Of course, it's my copy paste. So in the Discord, you guys live trade, and I can copy paste. No. If you want to join my Discord and you want me to tell you what to buy and sell, or you want to copy trade, I'm sorry. I don't want you in my Discord. I don't want you in here. You don't want to be in here because you're not going to know what's going on. It's going to be a waste of your time and money. Because we're going to be speaking a language you don't even understand. We're going to be talking. You're not going to know when we get in, or when people are getting in, or when they're getting out, or where their targets are. So, this is one option only. You join. You want to be able to do this on your own, and you don't believe that there's any shortcuts because there's not. But I don't say that, of course, to be mean. I just say that because I don't want you to waste your fucking money, and I don't want to waste my time. There's plenty of other signal groups out. Obviously, everybody else is a signal group. I'm the only person who's not. And now that I have, for years now, but especially the last couple of years, seen and produced and watched a large amount of people make that next step into independent trading, and I've accomplished that goal, I'm not going to stop. I know it works now, which was the whole concept is, I wanted to make sure that what I could, it took me 3 workshops to kind of nail down how I wanted to deliver it. So, but yeah, I'm independent trading, or nothing. So, but I mean, rather than copying us, you would leave with a skill that you can take with you for the rest of your life, for real. All right. I actually, Heenwich. I don't know, Jorge, if you saw Heenwich posted
did, bro.
little flex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he actually he messaged me. He's like, I'm not trying to like flex on everybody. I'm just trying to show people, what's possible if you use this strategy. But yesterday he's the epitome of, I mean, and there's probably a good 50 people that are in this lineup of people who don't actually, maybe 40, 50 people that don't spend time in the Discord, or you don't really even see them talk anymore. But they've been here for years, and he paid for a trip to like Aruba. He was just like sitting on a boat, obviously looking like he's having yeah, he said trip to Aruba completely paid for by trading. I used to be set on making this my job, but as soon as I stopped doing that and focused on my job business, I became profitable. Stop overcomplicating your trades because the Potter box works and you'll be profitable if you know the strat. So he's what he's saying, and I actually really like that he said that. It's like people are so focused on trying to make this a fucking job. But it's like you don't want to be in front of your computer all day. It's not a job. It's something that you can steal money in all for all intents and purposes from, and then go about your life and do what you want to do. And it's like, I mean, you look at the trades that over the last 3 weeks, if anybody gave anybody that amount of cash, like if you caught in a video, you caught Baidu, like even if you caught it with only 10 contracts or five, it's like that's still a nice chunk of cash. And to do that and then to show up this week and to be able to, whether you have a good setup or not, but to be like, all right, I don't really see it. That same opportunity for me, it might be not true for the other people, but I love that, dude. Um, yeah, it's also cool to see because Coors comes back, Heenwich comes back. A lot of people just like shoot me messages every once in a while, and they're like, "Yeah, bro, still crushing it." And I'm like, "Dude, that's what the fuck I'm talking about," So, um, all right. Anyway, I want to really recap, or we'll take a second. Welcome back, the Queen Ivy and the Prince Alex. Alex has been with us now for the week, but we missed you guys, and obviously um, felt your absence for sure. So, but we appreciate you guys very much for being here, and even TikTok shouting you guys out as well. So we missed you guys a lot. So W Ivy,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, great to have you guys back.
Yeah,
He
seriously.
needs a raid, Potter.
She just erased Potter. Jeez, every time. Every time.
I was losing it.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Listen, Alex and me. I fault Alex nothing because like at all. Like me and him struggled together in the trenches together, and then Ivy in 5 minutes, dude. I'm talking about Alex. How long did we spend on that? 3 hours. I spent like a whole
Oh my
a whole day trying to figure this shit out. I made like 1,000 codes. And then Ivy, it was so funny, dude. Ivy's, I felt like a baby. I felt like a baby, yeah, because I told Alex to bill me for it. So it was 2 hours, and then Ivy in like 5 minutes, she's like, "All right, it's done," and then she sends me a video on how to do it as well, and I'm like, "Yo, I feel like a baby, dude." Oh, I love it so much. All right, it is 9:18, so let's really quickly. Am I playing Microsoft or Amazon earnings? Probably not, man. I'm probably gonna scan the earnings things for. All right, so real quick, IWM right now is the only thing that I see that I'm gonna be watching for a potential break of structure on the 24-hour time frame today. That is pretty much everything. I am, yes, of course, if you're in Baidu or if you're in Baba, right? This trade, which is low risk, took it without a trigger. I'm gonna let it sit, and I told you guys that on Friday. It's a low risk position. I'm gonna see if it can hang on to 130, 150. If it cannot, and you want to get out, you can get out there. But other than that, I'm not really, and I serve obviously, Tesla's bane of my existence. However, it looks like it might drop to 365. But I was scanning through, and I mean, Meta looked good, but Meta still has that empty space overhead that I need it to go get. And that's going to start with 585.75 being reclaimed. Yeah, it's 920 here. Am I going to swing IWM? I can't make that decision right now. If it breaks today and rips ass, then maybe probably. I mean, there's a good chance that with a break of structure, there's continuation, but that all depends on the chart, man. But anyway, scanning through the market, guys, and maybe I just haven't looked hard enough, and I need to keep scanning after the bell rings. But I do see, especially with the Qs sitting the way that they are, for the potential of a pullback. And again, for those of you guys not able to see it, if you look at the hourly or the 30-minute right now on QQQ, there are some lower time frame setups. You got a nice pocket of empty space in there. You got a retest level right here, which is keeping that pullback from occurring. But other than that, sympathy on chips work. Yeah, it did. Yeah, we played that one out. Nvidia does and was the only one that didn't make significant new highs. It is pulling back, right now as we speak, but there is room to build. There's empty space up above. And it does also appear, and I think this is worth dropping because you guys could utilize this. If it does drop down into this area and kind of gives you a little fight for a second, it might be good maybe towards midday to pop itself back up into that 212 and make a new high and potentially keep ripping. Obviously, strength is on that side of things. So,
Hey Potter,
mm-hmm.
sorry, quick question on IDM while I'm driving into work. You said you were looking for the breaker structure to the upside. If it
Any
was
side,
going
A-
any
any
side, okay.
any side works. Yeah, it's a big box, and all I have to do is react to either side of it. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah, that's what I was asking. I was asking if like 275 or 270, 275.50 was like the trigger to look for the down space, empty space downside.
Well, this is the tough part, and I'm glad you brought that up because I need to go over this really quickly. Trading inside of a box is the absolute hardest thing that can be, and I literally mean that. That is the hardest place to trade. There is no question. It is the hardest place to trade. Period. End of story. And the tighter the range is, the more difficult, right? And I can explain, how. We don't have the time for that right now, but there is literally boxes and volume all over the place, and you're going to be ping ponging off of all of it. So if you take a position in the box, right, it's tough to be able to nail down or place yourself in structure when you are literally in structure. You know what I mean? Like it is literally well and plate and planted inside of that structure. So it is important that you are down on the 5 minute, right? Because these small boxes are going to be the only offer or opportunity to get into something with a solid stop loss. So to your point, 276.22 and a loss of 275.97 would increase the probability. So notice I didn't say it will, but it will increase the probability of you dropping to the floor. And one of the reasons, guys, that I am watching this today, kindergartner could do this shit, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now class. No, just kidding. But right, we have the tension. We also can zoom down into the lower time frame and we can see empty space all up in this shit. Meaning what 279.50, which has been Thursday and Friday, I tried the same things, right? I didn't necessarily get in, but on one of the days I did, and it didn't work. I actually swung it. So we're obviously looking for a couple price points to the upside, including 277.15, which is clearly being rejected here in pre-market. That would probably be a suitable stop loss. But if you are taking it, I'm going to leave this as a last warning. If you take it in the box, there's no promises. This is not a punch back. This is not a punch up. This isn't anything of the sort. It is just plain and simple a stock locked in a box. And we are looking to unlock that box. This is starting to sound like Dr. Seuss. With a potential target to the downside of 272.60 or 272.50, with runners potentially going to 271. Or, like I said, if we pop off the top, maybe 279. TikTok can't see my screen. They should be able to see my screen. Turn your phone sideways.
TikTok.
Yeah, I said TikTok. I'm starting that. That was a unk moment right there. Dan, do you hear that? I just changed.
Moonshine last night, bro.
Damn, dude. Listen, we did it. We got to talk, brother. Hold on, dude. That shit was strong. Wow. Oh my God. I felt like a 1996 Camry, dude. With some
Hey yo.
96 unleaded gas being pumped into
With
my
the blinker on.
with the blinker on, dude.
With the check engine light on.
Yeah.
Junior Poppy.
Junior Poppy. Yes, guys, if you're on TikTok, yearly and workshop for 6 months is discounted 30%. But please do not join my Discord unless your goal is to be an independent trader. You know that there's no shortcuts and you want to fucking actually do this. Show up in the live study chat, talk, ask questions, get fed. That is the kind of people that we want inside of the Discord. So if that's you, feel free to inquire. Why are you crying? Oh, from the moonshine had me fucking. It was strong. It's 96 proof. It's sitting right there. Actually, it's behind me. That was a gift from my boy. No way. I think Manny's mad that I told that he was William. All right. Now, listen. I meant to kind of preface this live with this. There's a lot of stocks that are still moving very strongly. Semiconductors is obviously where the strength is at. But I'm noticing that here in pre-market, we're seeing some sell side signals, right? And just taking that into consideration, if you are long on something today and prices ends up pulling back or losing the floor, again, you're either hedging, or if you were looking to the upside and you don't have the expiration for it, stop out. But take a second to grab your breath, settle your nervous system, so you make good decisions. Don't be impulsive. Okay, not on a fucking Monday with the stocks in a box. Doesn't make any sense. Wait for those ranges to break. And other than that, I will see you guys on TikTok and YouTube at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. And keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to be dropping those classes this week. So, yeah, pop in a Zim. It's time to lock in. Nah, fuck it. You know what? I'll stay. I don't really think the market's going to do much today except for pull back a little bit, but I'll stay on live.
Don't we have a bunch of news this week too, Potter? Like red.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, again, we're selling off right now on a couple of individual equities like Apple. Damn, Apple had a pretty good downside trade too. Yeah, kind of low-key wanted to take that, but yeah, be sure to tap the screen if you guys yeah, just because I'm live doesn't mean there's plays. Don't. But yes, if the Qs can punch down, which preferably price pops and then drops, but you have a 660, 190, and then this right here should be pretty fun. 660 right there would be that next target underneath you. So when you're live, there's always plays. I don't know how true that is. I'm sure we'll see something, but also turn your screen to the side because I'm splitting my shit. I don't know what the fuck I was just listening to, but that's not all right. All right, 1 minute. Ten seconds. Ding ding. I might take Baidu short here underneath 126.93 to short it down to 124.46 if it breaks underneath that, but that's in spite of my hedges, so keep your eyes peeled on INDAC. Short poet. I think that time possibly passed, my boy. Only. Damn. Baidu's spread is too wide. Never mind. Take it off. Spread's too wide. IWM is pushing out over that first entry of 277 right there. Again, it's only speculative. It is inside of the box, but stop losses would be placed right there. Indac. If you swung Indac with us. I'm not even going to talk about this shit, actually. It's fucking spread is insane right now. I hope that tightens up. SoFi just popped.
Go Meta, go.
Keeping my eyes on Netflix here. A little risky, a little sketchy, but keeping my eyes peeled on this one above 92.34 to break over 92.62 and try to get it over that 93.22. Not necessarily a play yet, obviously, with the potential to go make a new low sitting at the floor here, but if that bounce recovers something, I'll go ahead and set an alert on it. IWM, if you're in that one, we're up at the high now. On IWM, we're up at the high at the moment, breaking over the top. If you have that 279 in targets, it's just that high over here at 278 that needs to be cleared. And you keep that momentum up here. You're in Netflix to 90. You might be in luck, dude, because this thing has a pretty heavy floor. It hasn't caught a bounce yet. It's got empty space down to 90.99, so yeah. Boy, I tell you what, IWM, if it fills up 279 and then wicks off of it, if it even gets there, man, that would be a disgusting reversal opportunity. It's more like that. Yeah, you're breaking right now on Netflix. I'm going to set an alert on that above and leave it alone. What the fuck? I just set that alert. Everything's red right now. Yeah, USO seems like it's building for news. Real quick update on IWM. If anybody's watching this one or trading this one at the moment, listen, this is all empty space underneath us. Market's filled with tough pills to swallow. 277.80 is that trail stop right now. If you got it anywhere in this area here, that empty space again should lead up right around here. If we can continue moving here. This is a song called Invincible by Omar Apollo. I love this song. It's good jam. AMD is punching down through a box right now. Underneath 335.90, you do have a target of 330. It's a pretty substantial drop there. The Qs are sitting on top of that on top of that 662. If we can flush that, you've got a 660, 80 target underneath you. IWM, I do think this one might end up being a reversal trade to the downside following the other ETFs. So just keep your eyes peeled on that right now. It's still bouncing. The Qs are still bouncing off of that 662, so you need a break. IWM still holding 277 right here. Nike.
Hey, Paul.
It looks way better. What's up?
Go ahead with that guy first.
I John, this is great. It is obviously exactly kind of what I drew up. Obviously, just because it's green doesn't, we still have to go and clear that overhead 45.40, and then this floor here at 45.55. So, whether this candle can do that, I think is, obviously what you'd be trying to watch or pay attention to now as we speak. So.
For the Qs, I'm looking at I guess I didn't see that it wicked down there, but I'm looking at a 662, pretty much right on the money break, and empty space, at least into 660.70, but really I like all the way down to that 659.75.
Okay. What was the stock again?
The Qs, just the Qs.
Okay. Okay.
Really, the move is break of 662 into 659.75 with a stutter step at 660.73.
Yeah, I have 660.89, I think, or something like that, give or take.
Same thing. That's
But yeah, I mean, that's where we just bounced. The Qs just bounced off of that 662, so that's where price as buyers and where you would want to break to move down further. So yeah, it looks good. But obviously it has to happen. We're still pretty far away. The good bounce though. Hopefully everybody's being patient right now. I popped into IWM here, but
Hey, Ivy, just so you know, your screen is
Harry, sure.
here, Ivy.
Huh? Yeah, let's fight. You want to fight right now? Domestic type shit? All right, let's do it. Jeez. IWM target to the downside would be 274.42. If you're feeling sketched out, I got a small position on IWM right now, but if you're feeling sketched out about it, you could grab 274s for a hedge or something like that. Or if you're waiting, straight up, you could just wait, obviously for that range break, but try to break it right now. I think we're okay. The Q's bounced hit cost basis on the 5-minute here. So this is actually a huge right here. Look at that box right there. Pop up, try and grab it. If you can't, then you might actually be able to continue that flush to the downside here. That's the cat, right?
Ivy?
Oh, that's my wife.
Fixing your screen?
What happened?
Ivy's screen is just all gray. It doesn't show anything. The other screens are full.
Why am I intrigued by an IWM 276? But probably because you're watching the other stocks and ETFs fall while IWM just popped up, which means that more than likely there could be a reversal. Yeah, I'm right there with you. In fact, this whip right up, if it fails and gets sucked back in, I will go short. It makes sense, but everything else right now, I mean, again, if anybody's seeing anything moving with solid continuation or good volume, let me know. I'm watching, I'm looking right now, but everything seems UAL seems like it's moving up, but that thing's a little weak as well. MP bounced, that thing's moving up, but no.
Snug.
If you
Ivy's
took that,
asking if his stream is still messed up.
yo, AMD, if you took that, it just fucking broke that 335.80 is moving to that 330 that I gave. All right, we finish the fucking play IWM and then just let me go.
I
You said
I put a Nike chart in the bubble. When you get a minute.
fuck. Damn. That actually, you would have to set a stop loss on this right now. Probably a decent, maybe a little bit of time on the expiration, or you're waiting because you want to get this floor right here, right now on PLTRs. If you can set a stop loss here, or both, you have a shot right up to 146. That's actually a fucking bitch in play. I did not see that this morning, and I wish I had have. That was a really good lower time frame setup with a beautiful punchback directly up above you right here, and a box to pop it out of to go and take it long. So that was a great setup.
I swung it over the weekend.
You swung it over the weekend, dude. Great job. Absolutely.
Yeah, I swung down one potter.
Dude.
Remember we talked about on Friday? I said look at the 2 hour. It was
Yeah.
closing pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
I told the little pinto beans too. I swung it.
Yeah, this was a good setup, and those of you guys on TikTok, listen to them. I'm not even in this shit, and they are. That's again, study room, all that shit. That's independent trader type shit, dude. AMD with the absolute. I'm not. Yeah, I'm looking at that as well. So is IWM. $274s are 15 cents.
Hey, get off my screen.
2 days out. I'm betting on a break for IWM. That is what I'm doing, but all right. Yep, Tesla's curling down. MU ripped ass while AMD falls. How's Nvidia doing? What do you mean I'm betting on a break? I believe that IWM within the next 2 days will give me a significant break and move. Maybe 270. I have 279 up above, but right now underneath 276.34 is where I'm looking at that 274.48. I already grabbed. This thing just reversed and stopped me out. So I've already grabbed the 274s. But everything that I'm doing right now, and I should have prefaced this with this. Everything that I'm doing right now is with low risk. I'm inside of a box. I just took a $500 position to the upside on IWM. That's literally not. I mean, that's fucking a quarter of my risk, or not even. Do you believe that new traders using AI are good or bad? I would want to have an understanding before AI does, because there's still errors that, I mean, there's a reason why I'm not using AI right now. So yeah, I do think that everybody's always just looking for a shortcut, with trading. And while AI can absolutely help, I mean, there is some really fucking awesome tools with that. It's not the answer, I don't think yet. I saw Poet. It completely reversed. Again, one of the biggest skills that you can develop is knowing when to trade. So some of you guys, the downside is not something that you're proficient at yet. So it might not be something that you even take advantage of if you know that you're not going to be able to handle it. If again, depending on whatever risk you put down on the table. Nvidia is pushing right here down to that 208.69. But is there a specific ad that helps you read charts and heighten when you sell? Tristan, I believe that my system is so straightforward, and I am looking for one thing in particular. And like, if you guys are watching me right now, like, I'm trading inside of a box. Don't expect for this to fucking. I'm banking or betting and trying to scale into a break of this box. That's just how the market works. The market boxes up, then the market breaks. I'm looking to try to take this IWM trade out of the box, but on the 24-hour and on our higher time, we're looking for one specific setup. And I don't need AI to tell me what that looks like. I know exactly what that looks like. I think Celsius is probably a good example of, what that looks like. Again, it hasn't triggered, it's not there yet, but this is exactly the kind of setup that I'm looking for. Exactly. So, do I need AI to tell me that 35.25 is my cost basis, or that outside of 35 or 36.50 would be another entry? I don't need it to place that 37.80 target, and I definitely don't need it to place the $40 target. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can do all of those things, and it's pretty easy to do those things. And I definitely don't want an AI to tell me when to buy. I want to have that. I want to know when it looks good to buy and have that be based off of the chart. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not shooting down AI. I know it's the future. I know it's coming for, everybody, but at the end of the remember, the stock market is a giant tool to create wealth for already wealthy people. And if you think that they're going to allow for AI, they want to have some control, or most control, even if they are using AI. Yeah, got to retest that top there at 662.
Yep.
Dub, I grabbed 273s for 2 days out, and then 274s on IWM.
Because we have PAL sticking, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Apple.
Little pop over 268.39 for a retest of 269.78. That looks good. Obviously, with the Qs looking a little heavier, but Apple tends to do this. It's actually a good setup. Yeah, it's good. You got to move right now, though. Stop losses probably be placed like at 267.55. And it's just a little day trade, little scalpy scalp, 269.79 up to that 270 mark. But you need a candle close, obviously. Yeah, I mean, if you get in right now because you're front running, again, it's not always the worst thing in the world. You just, again, have to have a fucking solid stop loss. And that would be this 5-minute box that you're pushing through right now. So, not a bad setup. Do you still try selling it at its highest? I sell my position when it hits its target. And I have that price. So I just walked you through it, right? This, that, done. I trade in these pockets of empty space, and I'm done. And I leave runners, and there's a gap up there, so there's a good reason to leave a runner. But yeah, like I said, I don't really feel I don't really see how AI is going to help me when I've obviously already helped myself, but I can see it. You know what I mean? I think AI has been a great teaching tool. But yeah. Gotta let runners run, Asian Jim. That's a great name. It's one of my favorite episodes.
Dwight was so angry.
Yeah. I just grabbed those 274s. I'm already up 80%. All right, looking for a breakdown underneath 276 on IWM to get to that empty space down. Will NVIDIA go up or down today? Oh, Lord. I think it's going to go up and down on you, buddy. Prepare your cheeks, because it's coming for the meek. No, I mean, it is something that I do see, but there is a potential break to the downside, if that's what you're asking. I love it. Apple just tapped that high right there, but the overhead market is moving down. Yep. Bounced right off the fucking floor on IWM. By target, does that mean every share has hit target, so it's multiple? No, Tristan. I buy a contract at one price, and then when the price moves in the direction that that contract is, you know, obviously looking for, and the premium has increased, I take the profit and collect the premium. Dude, what the fuck? It's still speculative on IWM. Yes. Everything right now until we lose, I think 270, not I think, but until we lose 276, that's it. Tesla down. Yeah, I spoke about this one this morning moving down to that 30-minute box under or top. It's actually the range that I was referring to last week, basically right here. So you're getting very close. It's so Tristan, I use options to trade. But you can use my strategy and set up to trade shares or invest in shares. So that looks good. It looks good. Now W or NOW is yeah. As you can see, folks, IWM is fighting with that 50% line. This is where price has to shove itself down. Then you can look at it as a more obviously realistic play. 7 minutes left in this candle. They're going to flip it. Over 277.15, leave it alone. That fucker's going to pop right back up. Do you on your runners, do you use a trailing stop? Not a real one, not like I do it myself. I don't use one on like on the app. I'm not going to be mad at whatever happens with IWM because I'm trading inside of a box. So Qs, beautiful target on the Qs, by the way. 660.80 on the penny. Did you take that one?
I had MNQ. I was in futures.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Made a bag. Took it down to 27,300.
That literally tapped perfectly off the 660.73 I was telling you about, Potter. Obviously, I know you know.
That's perfect. I lost 25K when I first started. Haven't gotten it back yet. Hell yeah, dude. That's a motivational piece right there. I've had people be down.
Over 662, Potter. Is that what you have?
I have it as a floor, yes.
Okay, we got to reclaim it and hold it. Maybe 662.50.
I'm trading IWM right now. Actually, let me correct myself. I'm speculating on IWM breaking. Google looks like it's gonna try to go break that high, overhead high, and go try and reach into that 648. Looks like it's gonna try to do. Yeah, this should help Apple, by the way, if you're watching that Apple setup that I just went over. Apple's still listen, that stop loss I gave on Apple, perfect. 267.40. This one just needs that overhead break.
Oh yeah.
Was it?
Gotta love to slap both sides, right?
You know it.
Dude, what a reverse on IWM. Holy, look at that.
Gotta grab this floor here, though.
I can't seem to read the charts. I get engulfing stuff, but overall I'd be lost. Prince, how long have you been watching me, my boy? Okay, neutral here on IWM, but now that it's engulfing or starting to build inside of that candle, obviously that 279 target, and I'll probably hit it with a full-size position if we do flip overhead. I'll probably actually, hit that thing hard, make back the small losses on each side, but how long have we been trading? I'm getting closing in on 9-10 years here, so tell me IWM. No, I think IWM's gonna rip. You just rip down, and again, nobody can be mad at this. You hit the 50% mark, and you bounce right the fuck back up. And so right now, I would actually be aiming for IWM with a candle close outside of 277.90, or obviously clearing the wicks at 278.23. I have a clear target of 279. So actually, I was looking at Chinese stocks, and Baidu bounced, and is holding right now. And Baba actually looks like it might be able to give us a bounce too. Over, I'm looking at 133, but you just got out of IWM. Hopefully, you did that with low risk, like I am, my boy.
Q's needs to hold here.
Apple still looks good. It's looks real good just sitting right here. It doesn't have anything up above it except for, maybe 268. You said rejected off the ceiling? If you're trading IWM, I mean, just be patient. It's it's coming. 15-minute candle. They're sinking that one back down a little bit.
Damn, there you go. Fuck.
Yeah, Qs are moving a little bit better here. Qs have a good play outside of that 664, back up to 664.71. Apple's trying to clear that overhead, folks. If anybody's an Apple, watch that first target here. It's 268.50 and 268.68. Nice Apple push there. Yeah, IWM. I mean, if anything, man, this if you pop out and don't go anywhere, come right back down, or if you do this and come right back down, like, listen, I there's been many trades, guys, where I started off, or I'll take the trade and it will fucking not break, or it won't go where I want it to go, and because it's still a good setup and I know it moves, I'll try again, or 2 or 3 times, depending on what the setup is or what the stock is on something like IWM. I'm not going to be discouraged speculating in the box. I'm still looking to take, full size position. Short sellers bet against U.S. life insurers. Oh, shit. Short sellers bet against U.S. life insurers surge in the past year. Total value of short bets is now over $5.3 billion. Wait, that kind of seems... Musk versus Ultimate OpenAI trial begins. Those of you guys on TikTok, what have you guys caught today, if anything? You said TSM is going up? Ugh. That had a great drop, but that's on a 3-minute. 1 hour or 2 hours just range here. Got Google, nothing. Yeah, Google broke that overhead high pretty easily. Nice, good job on that one. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of shit is not looking great, or not moving that great. If you are in something that's moving well, then that's awesome. But if you are not, the only thing right now that I'm liking is this Apple trade still looks pretty good. Just looking forward to get 268.60, but emotions are fucked today. Am I single? No, I'm not. I am married.
He's taken by the Discord.
Oh Lord. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I mean, you know, I grabbed the IW. I've got some IWM contracts. Obviously watching Apple here, but you know, I prefaced it this morning. Most of the stocks right now are offering quick day trades and scalps, and that's about it. So if you're trading like I am, right, and it's 10 o'clock, we're looking for new highs or new lows, and if there isn't any in the next 30 minutes, then you're either focusing on something else or you're probably waiting or watching and setting alerts and moving on with your day. So NVO, that looks good. NVO's looking yeah. Tell Baby Joker. Raven Dictive said to look at the pictures you he sent you.
Tell him to watch the educational and get it going. Get serious. Let's get it. Come on, man.
Wait. Sounds like they sounds like
Carter.
yeah, what's going on?
It's holding up pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Potter, I got people from TikTok texting you, telling me to tell me stuff. What is all that about, man? What's going on? What's going on in the world?
I don't know. People are trying to communicate, dude. Trying to reach out to the other side.
Go back to the styrofoam cup and the string again. I'm gonna go back to that.
Yeah, I heard they just took the cell phone towers down for styrofoam cups, though. So 93, 93. So I mean, you're right. It does. It looks good. It's building where it needs to build. Everything looks fine. Obviously, it just needs to clear that overhead. So you guys bring education about disgusting behavior. Walking into work with no stop loss. Oh shit! Did I just inhale something? Air. Inhaled for some air. Thanks for taking the time to trade with us here on TikTok. I appreciate you hearing your thought process. I mean,
hell no. Potter, check your DM whenever you got time, brother.
Did you DM me? He probably found something. With Junior. Long on QQQ. Maybe. This is. I mean, it's again. I'm not doing the told you so thing because you know, again, I took a trade on IWM or I'm in strangle on IWM, but open up in range, right? Open up with no clear setup, and the day typically follows. Now a couple of these did open up with decent setups and they did move. Google looked good. That one has good momentum. But I just want to remind you, if what you're watching is not moving right now, start setting alerts. If it doesn't look good, set alerts where it matters and just sit and watch. Just sit and watch. Take that pressure off of you to have to make a trade or to be antsy. You know, something that we all deal with. But right now, I mean, again, if you're trading, trade. But if you're not and you're feeling a little lost or a little overwhelmed or, you know, you're like not sure what to do, stop, because that's where you're going to make a dumbass decision and focus on what needs to happen. What has to happen? The Qs have to lose 662. They already dropped down and retested 660. They also need, you know, maybe a 663.90 move if we want to go to the upside, and you can chalk it up to this 664 upside, right? Downside, back down underneath that 662. You said Snapchat is no way. So this, I mean, to my point, you know, if you didn't have it on your watch list already, and it doesn't have a good setup now, which honestly, Snapchat, you know, still got something to break. You got 606 to break on Snapchat, then maybe 635. So Yep, I'm just being dumb now. I stop, but is it too late? Is what too late? For you to stop being dumb? No, it's never too late to stop being dumb. Today's the day.
I was just laughing when you said that. Fucking embrace it.
Get the fuck out of here. So this coach, yeah, so this coach, the guy that I called out, what is his name of his group? Playbook Investment.
Yeah, bro. That's fucking crazy.
Playbook Investment is a pedophile, and he is hosting a summer camp. And I just saw a message from that Raven Dictive, and this little girl says, "Hi, coach. My mom opened a bank account for me yesterday, and she is yet to set up my brokerage account." I fucking can't. I'm not gonna let that slide. We gotta shut that
That's
company
fucking
down, dude.
Crazy, bro.
I gotta shut that shit down. The fuck just happened? Yeah. Is what is it, Coach something? What's it with everybody who names himself Coach? Coach KJ. Go report that dude.
It sounds safer, I guess.
What, Coach KJ? Maybe.
Disgusting, just
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, the word coach is ruined for me, dude. I know.
Totally it is, yeah.
Jorge comes in here every once in a while. He's like, "Hey, coach." I'm like, "Oh," it just hits me in the.
It's so sad. I can't even say it too because they're killing the vibe. Hey, you should check out UNH. I'm getting
Yeah, talk to
when
me.
you talked about this last week, I don't remember if you talked more about it going up or down, but when we talked about it, we felt it looked better down.
So I mentioned something because I listened to you guys talking about this. The amount of overhead rejections obviously does matter when you're getting them and where you're at. So like when I look at this, I could see a drop right now or within the next 30 minutes to, maybe 347.16. But, and this is a big but, BBL type shit. This, right, is essentially the only agreeable area that we can conclude that price broke out from. So while this is happening, right, or price moves down, 346.74 could be an area where price bounces. And, again, if you decide to take this trade and you take it now and you've got a stop loss and you're aiming, this is the whole point, right? Is we're going to take trades and sometimes it's going to hit the mark that we don't want it to and it's going to reverse and it's going to, if we get in a good space or we have a good stop loss, it's not a concern because we can get out. And in that case, this could be that area, but you got to lose this. You know what I mean? And that after earnings, you're going to have a lot of take profit. And I think that what we're seeing here is, probably a combination of the two, but the amount of rejections overhead ultimately can lead to a much larger move to the upside. So if they keep stepping up and they're on, and that's really what I see here. It's like, big one, bam. Okay, well, you got it down, bam, pops right the fuck back up and closes. So now you're building above that 350. 1, 2, 3. What are we losing? Haven't lost anything yet. 4. Have we lost anything? Still not losing anything yet. So clearly there are a lot of buyers underneath us that we need to get rid of. And if you don't, you're going to flip this shit right back up. And this will be and I mean, the beautiful thing about it is while it's up for deliberation on what its next move is now, it's not deliberation if it bounces and it punches back, right? Because then at that point, you've got all this overhead that you're going to blow out of the water and you'll see a new high there. What is this stock? Should I buy right now? Stop that. Don't do that. Nope. No. If you are brand new here, I'm trying to think of how to work. If you're brand new here, or you're just watching me for a while, for a week or two, when I'm going through a stock like this, if you don't understand what I'm saying, right? That's what my free educational stuff is for. But ultimately, something like this, right? I'm giving price targets that need to break and need to be triggered. And until they are, and this is a big mistake that some newer people make, is like I'll be talking about something, and I get this question all the time. I'll be talking about, oh, I love this good, this is a great target, but it has to do this. And I'll come back later in the day and people are like, so what are you doing with this position since it didn't break? And I'm like, that's exactly what I was saying I'm not going to be doing, right? And that's what you shouldn't be doing, is front running positions. This is not something that I'm recommending to buy, so and that's what Peter, listen, I'm going to stop it right. This is a magic moment for me and you. You don't even know where to start. And it's that feeling that gets taken advantage of, right? By all of these fucking people that are on this app. And this is where you have to, while you want guidance, you have to really be listening to what people say. Because ultimately, there is going to be a lot of gatekeepers. You're lucky to have landed here. But to start is to observe, right? You have to be observing something and saying, okay, I see that this is working for these individuals. And there is obviously some consistency with that. You want to see that over time, over a couple of weeks, like they're making good executive decisions, and there sounds like there's a real plan in place. And if you see those things, then that's where you're. And again, I have a great strategy, and of course, I'm going to tell you, learn mine, because I don't believe that anything else works as well as my strategy, and I stand on business with that. And at least, especially with the option game. With the option game, it's I don't really think anybody's fucking with me. But you want to start by learning, but you also want to take that education with a grain of salt until you see that what they're doing is working. Because ultimately, you might have to pick up and leave if you don't like, or if you see that what they're talking about isn't really sustainable. Don't do that. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
It's kind of an expensive stock, but Oracle has a really good move down to a retest.
I like that 165.92 target.
Looking at that? Jesus, sorry, I was.
You going to get Ellie? Is she sick? There's a lot of kids with stomach bug. Dude. Fuck yeah. All right. Well, you know what? Dude, I don't know, some of you guys might think this is fucked, and I get so pissed off that they ask us to bring doctor's notes, and like Ellie got sick a lot this year, and now they hit us with a truancy letter, like saying like our kid's been like 15 days out of the whole school year, but she also had like we had a family week-long illness that we did. It sound like it's a family trip or something. So we're like, most parents now are just fucking sending their kid to school, and they tell their kid, if you feel sick the minute you walk in that door, go straight to the nurse. Don't even go to class. And just tell the nurse, I feel terrible. I have a fever. And then the nurse sends them home. And then you don't need to know. It's like every single time they get anything, it's like, you're gonna fucking make me do. Anyway, sorry. Awesome. I'm looking. Yeah, dad hack. Awesome. I'm looking forward to. I want to take advantage of the opportunities that have been presented. Yes. I mean, and listen, Peter, again, my educational playlist, and then I want you to watch me, right? Like legitimately, like not in the, everybody's biggest mistake, and is money. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it's like you get to the stock market and right in front of you is this orb, right? This fucking entity that, theoretically, if you stick your hand in it, you can pull cash out, right? In an infinite amount. But there's also a way you got to get into the orb, right? Or into this entity in order to secure that cash. And it's the unwise and the unknowing that just go for it. They reach their hand in and they get fucking fried. And now they have real scars to show for it that they're making rules around. And so their entire trip into the stock market is ruled and dictated and built by the mistakes that they've made rather than the good things that they've learned. So I say that to say, if I could go back and I knew that this strategy was already available, I would spend 2 months, no trades. I would spend a month, no trades. And if it, again, if you're a fast fucking learner, you have $100 or whatever it is that you're willing to absolutely lose, because it first comes the testing, right? The observation and the testing of the strategy that you're learning, right? The absorption. But you're, yeah, make sure, can you sponsor my account again? What does that even mean? But it's from there, right? Strategy, then you're actually testing out the tools that you have acquired. You have this strategy, now you need to get good at it, right? Because there's like a 2-step process, and I get the same question, and it's like, I would rather you not join if your first question to me is how long is it going to take? Because already your mind has the wrong goal. Like, I want somebody who's going to join and say, I'm going to do whatever it takes, or I'm going to be present and I'm going to just buckle down and I'm going to learn this. That attitude is going to take you much further than somebody who is just asking how long until I get this over with, so I can just get the money. You know what I mean? And that's that instant that's wisdom. You know what I mean? That's not being impulsive. That's delayed gratification at its finest. And again, for a lot of new people, they get started, they start trading, and they make stupid mistakes that they don't trade the strategy. They're impulsive. And it's like, you get to the wise trader, the wise new person is coming in and they're watching it all happen. And they're learning vicariously, which is a real fucking thing, right? If you're watching other people suffer, which you're going to. All these words I don't understand. Should you look into my videos? Yes, my videos are going to be a great place to start. I was 18 my senior year and got locked up for a weekend for truancy. That makes total sense. What age did you find trading and how did you find it? I think I was 24, 25, and I found it the same way you guys did. I mean, I did know about trading from Bitcoin and my previous interaction with Bitcoins at extremely low prices that I live with every day. And I had my hands on several hundred of them. We're not going to talk about that because it hurts. But yeah, that was my first introduction to charts and to, price movement or, markets or anything of that nature. But at this point, I had a pretty, anti-capitalist mindset, which meant the stock market was off limits. I just didn't even really focus, but it was, I think, around 25, I ended up seeing somebody from my area, which was that Aristotle investment guy. I saw him, and it took me maybe 6 months or maybe 4 months to finally join, because my gut was right. I had the right feeling in my gut, but I was like, well, I want to get into this shit. I guess I'll just go this route. And, I'm thankful that I did that, because I got scammed and then it pissed me off. And then I decided not to trust anybody ever again, which is a little bit it's a little bit dramatic, but I'm a little drama queen sometimes. Then I buckled down and locked myself away in a room for like a year and a half until I built this strategy. It was more like a year and a half, 2 years. I just turned 18 and I've wanted to do it, but I've never had the guts to look into it. Dude, if you're 18, bro, if I could go, dude, when I was 18, bro, I was taking risk on everything that I did, dude. Dude, you offer me a drink at a bar, dude, I'm taking it. You know what I mean? Like, risk was, I'm saying that all because, like, if I could go back, and again, it matters, like, what you're willing to deal with, but when you're young, you have resiliency, and you are able, and in these economic conditions, it's a lot harder, but you can, bounce back, or you can have a job, right, that you're living off of, but you're putting a very small fraction into the stock market. And anytime you get any sort of reward from it, you're pulling it out. But the stock market is nothing to be fearful of, and that is how they want it. They want you to be scared of the market. They want the premise to be, it's gambling. They want all of those things to be real, so that way when things go wrong, you doubt yourself. It's So, you know, again, if you're 18, bro, you're in a great spot to take your time and to take risk. Straight up, dude. If I could go back, I took a lot of risk, but I could have taken a lot more. Like money risk, not necessarily life endangering risk. So,
Hey Potter, can you look at Schwab? I see over $90. Pretty easy play up to 95, and then
I was,
optimistic play up to.
I have this one on my chart over here. I was looking at the same thing. I also see an opportunity here. There is a big ass wick right here at $90, so I would just keep that one yeah. But you do have a box right here. Let me back down. Aristotle was a scam? Yes, dude. He copy and pasted his course from Investopedia. I mean, right there, you're obviously tapping the trigger, so you know, fire that trigger and go. No, I have firsthand evidence, you know what I mean? Just like with everybody else that I talk about, with Rusty, with anybody else on this app, like I have good evidence as to why I'm saying what I'm saying. But with Aristotle, I caught him red-handed and also heard him red-mouthed. I don't know if you want to call it that, but I heard him literally say these things. He was bragging to his friend. It was the second day he had ever done live trading, maybe third day that he had ever done live trading. So he left his mic on after live trading, which didn't go well, but it was funny. He left his mic on, and his homie had come over, and his wife was there. And he begins to describe how stupid people are and how much they just are looking for answers, and that you don't necessarily have to sell them the right ones, but all the information is already out there. And so he began to break down, and I had already known this at this point, how he went through the internet on Investopedia, copied and pasted his course, put it on a PDF or whatever the fuck, and then put emojis on it and sold it for $150. And then they just repeat that in longer form content on their AMU university bullshit. So not only did I go see it for myself, I literally Googled the line inside of the course that he made, or not made, but copied and pasted. And that's when I saw it. It literally popped right the fuck back up. And I kept doing it. I was like going through lines and lines and lines. And I was like, dude, he didn't do anything. He didn't type one single word except for buy Aristotle Investments. So, I mean, and that's why I have, and you should too. Like, just because you like me, like, you shouldn't be, like, with anybody, and listen, in what world would you let anybody fuck with your money, right? Without being, like, a little bit pissed off about it. So it's like, these individuals are fucking with, you know, people's money. They fucked with my money, and that's where, like, yeah, dude, I'm now not going to trust, you know, anybody until I see that the members that are in that group that aren't new, because here's the thing, you know what people love to do, and I tell people not to do this. They'll be teaching them this basic information, and you know what? If I teach you, if you don't know anything and I teach you about a bull flag, it's gonna feel like a fucking revelation. Guess what? Schwab is looking great here. But yeah, that's Aris. Yeah, I looked at the same thing. It's moving a little bit.
I'm trying to get 95s for 30 days out, and they're just messing with the spread. That's probably too far, though. Maybe I could go 2 weeks or the May 15th.
I'm not trading this chop right now, Josh. No, I did just take a speculative, added to a speculative position on IWM. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm good on that one. I have some swings that I'm watching right now. You want to talk about spreads, dude? I swung NDAC. Never again. Never fucking again, dude.
Thanks for doing it for us. Then
I got you guys. I got you. Yeah. So I'm gonna.
Looking at that.
Yeah, it's a great setup. It's great.
Looks like POTR wants to grab that 144.20 and possibly shoot. That shit's kind of just pressed up against that ceiling.
Yeah, you look at that old box that it's up against. It's trying to get up there and reclaim that sucker. So
Do you
now,
think 18 days is enough for Schwab?
18 days? Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, those spreads aren't as bad. 25s are 62 cents, 63 cents.
I don't know why, but you look very familiar. Did we go to school? Where'd you go to school at? I went to 7 different high schools. I went to high school in New York. I went to high school in Texas. I went to high school in Georgia. And I went to high school in South Carolina. So
Empty space up on Tesla.
Churchill High School? Nah. No, that's not me. I am kind of your standard issue white guy though, so there's very many variants of me probably running around. Nah, Tesla. In Austin? I've been in Austin. I didn't go to high school there though. I don't know, man. This volume of shit sucks right now. Everything looks a little heavy
Watch
though.
Unity. Unity doesn't look too shabby.
$28 target if it can. Well, never mind. Pause. 27.40 target if it can clear. Man, this would be a great time for Trump to fucking tweet some bullshit. I think you have a variant tendency.
Footprint.
You said he's a really good guy. He really tried teaching. Who? Starboy? Tell us more about your IWM strangle. Sure. I'm looking at a 270 to the downside, keeping it low risk and out of the money. I also have 281 looking at a potential break and push into new highs. So has Starboy dropped by? No. I listen. I actually have talked to Starboy. You know, the water under the bridge, but I'm not going to stop saying that he pumped and dumped option contracts. I mean, he knows that he did it. Yeah, training gives you the ability to have a FU money, which gives you the level of independence that's rare. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right now, even if you got $10,000 in your bank, you got fuck you money straight up because you could say fuck you to probably 90% of the population in America. I think what was it? Some ridiculously high numbers, like 60 or 70% of people don't even have $10,000 in their bank or 5,000. I think that was like another pretty high number of people who don't even have $1,000 in their bank. I was like, good God. Yeah, Google was a good setup. Google was a good setup. That was just a break over the highs, and then it seems like it's front running its earnings. So I would imagine this earnings play is dead.
Chef, IOVA is looking really good on the 4-hour.
IOVA?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? Let's see here. 24-hour time frame. Oh, this is biopharmaceuticals. Shoot me in the shin.
With the kettlebell?
Oh, dude. Listen. Kettlebell to the shin, bro. That was up there. That was a spiritual experience for me. I went out of body for a second. Yeah, Schwab is moving here. Just broke over that high. And then NOW, if you have that one, I'm looking at that too as well. That's moving through empty space. I have a target of 95.61, which, you know, not too far away from that target there. So, Alex, I would recommend maybe setting up trading through, you know, like a S Corp or a fucking, you know, a business so you can like start writing some shit off.
Seems like Microsoft is pushing up a little. It's holding up well.
What's the deal with Unity? It looks okay. I mean, it's coming out of area of consolidation, so it's got a decent little move potentially.
3 taps on the bottom for IWM. Could this be the break, Chef?
I got my alert set on that one. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely looking a little bit more shorty. I don't know, man. I just feel like somebody's gonna say something. I feel like the IWM looks like it's going to be hit by news. Something this fucking pent up like that. But yeah, I mean, it's possible. I just went out to the end of the week and grabbed a strangle. I'm just gonna add to, oh fuck, I just deleted all my alerts. Yeah, so I'm gonna set an alert there, and I'm gonna set an alert here. Leave it at that.
Remember, it is Monday morning, folks.
Back a couple years ago, options trading was much easier.
Those 95s, 3 weeks out, not bad.
Ozzy, you know what though? Oh, go ahead.
They're not bad.
No, I think that it felt like it was easier because everything was running. It was a wild bull market, and you could be there very, very rarely, but sometimes. I mean, you could even look what SPY did. The market, everything will rip. I mean, every fucking thing will rip. And it usually happens after a widespread, devastating dump. That's the rinse and repeat. So next time it happens, right? Next time we be bearish, and it's so easy to get sucked into it. I mean, it happens to me sometimes too. It's so easy to get sucked into the idea that the environment is not right for more, or more upside or whatever. But remember that this market was designed for one motherfucking thing and one fucking thing only. Maybe two things if you, but to go up. That's what this whole stock market is meant to do. It's meant to go up, not down. So at any opportunity that it can, it will go. And so it's like next time that happens, which it could be years. I mean, it could be next year. It could be fucking 5 years from now. But the next time you see a whole market widespread ass dump, and especially if the Fed stepped in or something of that nature, that's the kind of opportunity where you can throw shit at the wall and everything will stick. Now, I disagree with the options trading was easier. I think the opportunities had to be found. And that eliminated this ability to throw shit at the wall. Because now you actually have to go find a good setup. And you also have to know what that good setup looks like. So everybody went from not having to have a strategy to having to have something very like solid. And that I mean, the amount of money people that made fuck tons of cash and then didn't actually get to touch a single cent of it is diabolical. Almost, I think it was like 90% of the GameStop people and AMC folks lost all of it. All of it.
Diamond hand.
Yeah, dude.
Schwab is tapping that 90 right now.
Yeah, I'm watching that one on that.
See how it reacts.
Yeah. What contracts did you get?
I got May 18th, 65s. Or 95s, excuse me.
May 18th. Ooh, I won't be here that day. Maybe I will, actually. You know what? Yeah, I probably will. I'm going to trade on my birthday.
Right?
And yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to...
Volcanoes blow up on your birthday. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Mount St. Helens erupted on my
I was a kid.
same
I
day.
saw that firsthand.
Yeah. It was rough being born out of a volcano, but I did it. Literally unbelievable that you're talking about this because I was just talking about it 10 minutes ago. Just got here. What? Titanic sunk on my B-Day? Damn, you're old as shit. No, shit. I'm sorry. I'm just joking. I'm sorry. I'm just joking. I'm sorry. That was impulsive. I get what you mean, though. I get what you mean. I'm sorry. Good morning. What's up, Dorian? I'm kind of just sitting on cash right now, guys. If you need any help or you're looking at something, I've got a couple of plays, a couple of people called out here, but, oof, damn, boo. Yeah, that hurts. But yeah, if you guys have anything you want me to take a look at, I'm just watching the regulars. Celsius went and bounced off of 33.42, so I'm watching this one at the end of the day. I want to see how that fucker closes. I'm done with AMSC. That thing tapped 54. That's the end of the empty space. I mean, maybe you play it down, but I think it's trash. DNN. Yeah, we need something. Denison Mine looks like... Yo, Denison Mines looks like it actually is going to run. It looks like it's in a weekly... Yeah. weekly and monthly range. The weekly actually seems, so again, if you're new here, I like to go and there's a simple thing that you can do, and you can go look at the time and date range. Apple, what are you doing here?
Meta just squeezed out.
Mm-hmm. Apple's just sitting right there. Meta still has that overhead 679.66 to break. Netflix. Real quick, go ahead and if you're looking at Dennison Mines, yeah. So I was gonna say, it looks like it's gonna move, but you are encapsulated, right, in the volume that stacks up above and the volume that stacks up below. So you're literally in an area where you are looking long over 410 or underneath 371. You're looking short. Netflix, what are we doing here? Netflix is going green for me. Gotta tread carefully on Netflix because this fucker don't play. Now over 92.81. That's where I want that. When's the next class? What do you mean? Hey, Potter, longtime watcher, watched all your YouTube educational videos. Would you recommend the workshop? Yes. This would be when you would start digging into the workshop. Yes. Yeah, the 6-month one is discounted right now, 30%. Hello, Peyton. Are you leaving? Your door? On our bedroom? Okay. Okay. Are you you're not leaving right now? Huh? Okay. All right. Me want to dig into workshop? Me have shovel? Oh no, Justin's back, dude. I expect you to stay an Ooga Booga character for the remainder of your duration inside of the Discord, though. Caveman character only. John Cena or Batista? Oof. John Cena. John
His
Cena.
name is John Cena.
Nobody's seen him in years. I was kidding. That looks pretty bitchin'. On the 30-minute, you're touching cost basis right here. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks good on the 4-hour too as well. Me always Ooga. That's what's up.
I saw a video this weekend that was like Charlie Kirk's wife at the shooting of the dinner, and she's like crying, and then it switches to Dana White, and he's like, "That was awesome."
No way,
I
bro.
seen that.
Like, what the fuck? It's ridiculous.
She was like, "I just want to go home," and then
Yeah, this guy.
Dana's like, "God, that was fucking awesome."
He's like, I was taking it all in. They said everyone to get down. I was looking around, like, I'm like, is this fucking real, dude?
Is that way it is real?
Yeah, it's real. You can look it up, bro. There's videos of him, and he's like, everyone's sitting and like on the floor, and he's like, kind of like looking up, like keeping the scene.
I'm looking.
Dana's funny, bro.
Get out of here, bro. Yo, I mean, that guy's living for the moment, though, I guess, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really living, he's just happy to be alive and to be interacting with reality, I guess, in some capacity. I mean, he made the game slap, which I just think is the fucking. It's got to be the worst shit on earth, dude. Like, imagine.
The slapping?
Dude, imagine aliens come to Earth and we got to explain ourselves. Like, oh yeah, for fun, we like to let people grab onto like these poles and smack the fucking piss out of each other and give each other brain injuries. They're like, you guys just give brain injuries for fun and the people bet on it? Like, that's crazy. Dude, you know what feels better than watching people get slapped? Slapping somebody, you know? So find yourself somebody to slap. Yeah, and look at Stephen Miller copping a field, dude, in the worst time. He did use his pregnant wife, though, as a shield. That was pretty diabolical. ABT, I mean, you need to candle close on the here in the 4 hour, and then over 93.20, it's just the 93.67. You got a great pocket up to $96. So,
Did somebody say GME?
oh, fuck that. That's all you, dude. Game master. Be like, baby. Trump tweets, we're putting boots on the ground. Market crashes. Just kidding. If I walk away, the market's going to fucking pull back, though. I can promise you that. But I will say this, if you were watching here this morning, we talked about this type of price action being a reality, and I'm not saying that some stocks didn't move. Stocks are always going to move, but the great majority of them did not provide ample opportunity. I was watching Apple for a break. That fucker didn't want to do anything. IWM, obviously, is still locked up in its motherfucking box. I got a strangle set up on that one. I expect it to move by the end of the week. But other than that, guys, especially if you're on TikTok, I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, and we'll see maybe by 2:30 if we can't get the movement or the build to swing into something. Remember this, though, and this is something to kind of get tickled about, you know, unless you don't like tickling or something, but it is one thing that I kind of gets me amped up is if you don't move all day, you know when you're likely going to move? Overnight. So if we don't move and we already have tension, then a catalyst is more than likely coming to break us out. And I would say that whatever box you see on IWM is exactly that. So,
Potter, once I'm done with my divorce, can we revisit the tickling offer?
you know what? You got me on that one. He said that shit so smooth, I couldn't even fucking think of anything to say. You can take it up with Ivy. Just DM her, and we'll see if we can get it on the schedule. But I mean,
he's going through a divorce. He needs this.
Yeah, she caught me looking for the box, and I said, no, it's a Potter box, and she was like, I don't care, it's over. So I'm gonna need that tickling.
Sounds like that empty space got filled, brother.
You should have hit it with that rusty rod.
Hey, yo.
Rusty's
die.
got really bad fucking teeth.
He has
He's got
rotting.
terrible teeth.
He's got rotting teeth. There's a tooth in his mouth that is black. And I mean, it's not that expensive to. You see those contracts? He's actually a stock market entity. He actually eats theta. His teeth are the only thing that can chomp through. I'm sorry, we're being mean. All right, stop. That's enough. That's enough.
Hey, it looks like FTNT trying to break into that empty space, Potter.
Who is INTC?
FTNT? No, FTNT is above that cost space. It's looking a little.
Is that earnings this week? May 6th. No, that's next week. I'm actually gassed. I think this one's gonna be fun. I'm either gonna lose $2,000 or I'm gonna make 10 bands. So we're gonna see here.
Yay!
I actually have I don't really talk about this stuff very often, but I moved my account up to 100K, put 20K in my futures account. Start
Very nice. That company you looked at for me a while ago, FSK.
Mhm.
The reason why I'm trading that is this earnings will either decide if they fucking fall off the cliff like Blue Owl did,
Uh-huh.
or if they're gonna go up. Like that's a heavy sell off. If it's like Blue Owl, it's gonna go from where it's at around 10 down to about 2.
Is
So
this
just
one
something
is this something that like pops up on a scanner for you, or just curious?
So like I said, like I start like I do social arbitrage first, right? I
Right.
find things I'm interested in, and then I time it with technicals. So
Yeah.
this one, I don't give a fuck about 10Ks,
Yeah.
but I studied their 10K to figure this out, and
Uh-huh.
they're basically shit debt. They're in that whole private equity mess, and their loans are not paying anymore, and they're almost having to sell more loans in order to stop the bleeding. So like Blue Owl had a restructure, and that's why you saw Blue Owl go down.
Yeah.
FSK might be that next one. They're
Gotcha.
very close to having to liquidate. When your debt to equity with the companies like this get to like 2.0,
Yeah.
you have to, it triggers something where you have to now liquidate real asset,
Shit.
and they're at like higher than 1.44.
No
So this
shit.
earnings coming up, I think it's this week or the next week, we'll let you know if they're gonna shit the bed.
I mean, they definitely know how to shit the bed too. I mean, obviously this has been a huge drop, 1950 all the way to fucking 960 is substantial. So yeah, I mean, and especially with the empty space up above, you know, like if they did end up, you know, pulling it off or something of that nature, it could be an opportunity at the upside. So say
Yeah, just something to look at. Their pattern, if you look at Blue Owl when they had that huge sell off, it's almost the same similar price action to Blue Owl. And I guess, no
what
one
was
knew
the
what was
ticker
going
on
on,
Blue
but
Owl?
OWL.
Oh, it's Al. That makes sense.
Yeah, Meta's going for it.
I'm watching right now. I'm watching Netflix too. Do you guys see Netflix is starting to look really good on the 1 hour, 30-minute time frames, sitting right up against that wall. I'm watching this one. I think I might actually keep. So one way that I'm gonna play Netflix, and again, you can play it however you'd like. But I think one way that because again, I am trying to catch a bounce where there hasn't been one. It's just a lot of candles sitting sideways, and this one's still subject to potentially fall if buyers can't find a setup. So because of that lack of certainty, I'm gonna fuck around with the 97s to keep my risk low, right? But to keep my high or my contract, count, somewhere in the fucking 30s. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm watching for on Netflix right now, and ultimately the goal is to try to take it for a strong pop up to 97.13. So now if this one triggers outside of 93.32, you could take a more surefire closer on the money if that's what you're looking for. So all right.
Are you looking for this week's?
Yeah, I'm keeping my risk low that way.
How many contracts are you getting?
30. Why are you asking?
What strike price?
What strike price? When
Jeez.
What's your target?
Were they?
When should I get out?
What time are you buying it?
They're gonna cost you. They're gonna cost
Can you
you.
just alert me when you get in?
And
Thanks.
please be specific.
Can
Oh
I just give
my.
you my account? You can trade it for me, Potter. Thank
Where
you.
can I copy and paste that?
Go Meta, go.
Wake up, Garrett. Wake up. This is a bad dream.
Go drink some more moonshine.
You shut that copy paste dude down earlier fast. Now we don't do that shit here, homie.
I just woke up too. He got the worst of me. Oh, QCOM. Yeah, that fucking sucks. Holy shit. Wow, not only did they take the play from me. Yeah, but they made empty space, but when you yanked down, you actually lost something. And so I would say that right now, you would need to get back up above 153.60 to feel I'd feel better about it there. So I really want to say Weeble looks good. Yeah, Weeble looks good up to. I mean, I can't say it looks good as if it's reclaimed, but you are up against that 740 or 735, and it's 740 that needs to be reclaimed there. So, Bull has an opportunity, in my opinion, to go up to around the 950 target here. To your left, there's actually I'm going to give you a little bit more. 964 is a opportunity. Not quite yet, but it is on the horizon. Yeah, I got a couple things to work through. So BSKY. Yeah, if you're on TikTok, go ahead and drop your requests because I'm going to go ahead and hop off here in just a second as the market is just sitting kind of sideways. But I hope people in here, if you took a little burn, that's okay, right? Chalk it up to the game. You're in the stock market. If you made a bunch of dumbass decisions in places that you shouldn't with too much money, you should be hard on yourself. Guilt and shame is the, an initial response that should be had. But that being said, it's nice to be able to wake up, see the lack of opportunity. If you see, I saw a couple things I tried on IWM, and obviously that got sucked back in. So just to be able to kind of like, okay, nope, and then just wait. So keep scanning, again, if you're watching out there. But Black Sky looks like it's that's an ominous ass fucking business name. Okay, so you're sitting at cost basis on the 4-hour time frame. I mean, honestly, this could be a good place to try to pick up a reversal. That will happen over 32.17 with a reversal up to 33.80. However, obviously, with a downtrend and your teeth sunk underneath 32.27, it is possible to see 29.88. So, yes, 30% discount on the yearly and the workshop. By the way, the yearly comes with the workshop. So, all right.
Did you hop into Meta?
I did not know. I decided to repeat my mistakes from last week and get a Netflix instead. You know me. Celsius closed the candle under my short expiration stop loss and it's just chopping here. It bounced off. Dude, look at it on the 4. 33.40. Dude, this is a huge day, right? Because this really matters. What happens here fucking matters because this is either a retest, right, of cost basis to fall further. Because I did mention how this was, there was more down to 28.50, but this is where we can start mustering up. And earnings is coming around the corner. So even if you did just chop here, I mean, that's better than anything. So let it hang low, size in with 10 EMAs on your swing trade.
Potter, you're looking at the 110s on Netflix?
No. No. The 97s on Netflix. Sorry, I was like, oh my god, that was way out there. No, yeah. Right now, this is, I'm again recognizing the pretty massive drop down into all of this volume over here to your left. And just looking to see, obviously, if price can, it's been sitting on this floor now for how many days? If you look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is now our 5th day opening up without having made a new low. So I'm just exploring a potential bounce based off of a lower time frame potential punchback over 93.20 and then up to, I'm looking at 97 because I'm looking at this box, which I don't think that you can butter through very easily. But because I can hold this throughout the week and it's cheap and out of the money, I'm going to do that, obviously with the entry that I'm given right now. It's not promised. It is, I say it's high risk because there is no trigger and we're not above that one level, right? That would give us the green. But I decided to circumvent that risk by buying out of the money target-based contracts on the weekly side of things. Because I know that if Netflix has the intention of going up, we can expect a pretty substantial move. And if there's empty space in the way, Netflix can get it done, right? Even if it's here. Look at this pop right here, empty space, big, nice, juicy candle. So I know Netflix is probably due for a juicy one. We did get that one, which punch me right in the ass. But yeah, I'm obviously looking to see if we can get a little bit farther here. So Tesla, oh god, gross. Tesla is doing exactly as it's been prescribed. I think today, obviously you could say it's sitting on top of that underneath box that we came from. Yeah, so right now, if you don't bounce and you don't recover anything, I would say actually pretty confidently that if it can't get back up above 367.78, that you could be looking for continuation down. But this is, obviously not on my major watch list or anything at the moment. So, all right.
Everybody's in meta. It just hit that cost space, so careful.
Just got a little gap up there, though.
I know. Go, go, go.
But otherwise, there's a couple things moving all right, but most things are kind of moving a little poopy. All right, I'll see you guys on TikTok and YouTube at 2:30. If you guys want to hop in the Discord, everything is discounted right now, so feel free to reach out to Ivy or Alex. They're back, so you won't have a 10-year queue time. But I'll see you guys this afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Catch you later. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Potter. I'll see you later.
I'm still here.